So here's the fraud of ODFW, and this is the fraud that's going on. I've been doing videos. I got whistleblowers telling me they're having pressure by the Trump administration to fake the numbers. I just got off the phone with them. I will call them in this video. And so here's the fraud. The site goes back up. So here's the graph. Let's click the graph. No graph. No graphs. Now here's why. Stay with me. This is important stuff. Historic. Annual totals. Nothing. So here's why this is important. The fraud. 11/5/2019. They're reporting 1,400 Chinook salmon. You know what the 10-year mean is? 23. 23. So why is this going on? This is the Trump administration, ODFW, the Armed Forces, fraudulently putting up numbers. They don't want anybody to click. 64 on the 32nd, 42, right on the 10-year mean, 136, 170, 230, 400. They're trying to boost the numbers illegally. They're fraud. I talked to them up there, and they're like, Armed Corps engineers taking control of the site. It's total fraud. The biggest number they've ever had on 11/5 in the history of them tracking numbers in in many multiple decades. The biggest number they've ever had on this day was 68. They're reporting 1,400. It's total fraud. Total fraud. Steelhead number 76,000. What was their projections for the year? 228,000. Bill Monroe says Coho said they're going to be 1 million. You see them? 70,000. This is the sham. It's total. They were running 150,000, then all of a sudden they crashed the site and they magically bashed it. And I got boots on the ground up there. It's all lies. Again, organs. Scumbags. Let's compare and contrast. I've been watching this site for 20 years. Never been down. This is the Trump administration, the Army Corps Engineers, this is the nuclear energy crime with the NEI, the Department of Energy, the United States Department of Commerce is fraud. Incredible fraud. Why? The Mitchell Act. This is how they get their money. This is how they justify this season being open. This is because they fell under the limits of the Endangered Species Act, federally and state. They fell under that. That was 4 years ago. Obama administration violated this law. Why? Because they're going to get their asses sued. This is total fraud. Again, you can Google. I've been classified. Army Corps engineers won't answer phone calls. They won't talk to me. They're reporting 1,400. We got boots on the ground. And the 10-year means 22. The most they've historically. It's total fraud. They're fraudulently putting up numbers now. Now you think, what was the number in, they go to sea for 5 years. The steelhead number in 2011 was 416,000. You just saw it, 70,000, which it's probably more like 20,000. I talked, like I said, Tim Barton talked to the one main fly fisher up there. He said he's heard of 2 caught all year. So, the Columbia, the Chinook salmon go to sea for 5 years. The returns in 2015 were 1,300,000. Even if that's total fraud. It's total fraud. 308,000. No guilty. Total fraud. They're padding these numbers were set to come in at 190,000. That's what they were. I ran regression. I mean, they were coming in at 67% of last year's mean till just lately. You saw the number. They're reporting 1,400 Chinook salmon over that freaking bottom field in November. It's impossible. Absolutely impossible. And then you can't compare and contrast. You can't see graphs. They won't answer phone calls. It's total fraud. Total fraud. Anonymous mass march, hackers. Let's get them. I got some of the emails. Keep working on them. Let's get them. Let's get these emails from the Trump administration, the Department of Commerce. Let's take them down. This is fraud from hell. Stand tuned. Let's see. Let's do one other thing. I want to say, watch this. Thank you, Tech9. This is his new video. Gotta see this. Steve Grant. That's me right behind Steve. There I am. Steve, I'm behind Steve there somewhere. Said he's joined with us. We're glad to have him. It's a great song. I like the title. I like all of it. Remember I was saying going through the street that day, I don't wear the mask. I am the mask. So I grew my mustache and dyed it. Nice. Larry next to me. There I am. So stand tuned.